Thor is one of the most unique heroes in Rivals, and there's a lot of different ways to play him. So I've cut this video up into chapters to help you find out what you need, and I'm going to be using clips from two of the best Thor players on the server, which are Surefour, who plays more like a flanking DPS 1v1, uses Awakening Rune a lot, and Mattnelxd, who plays a bit more of like a nuisance frontline bruiser type Thor. So Thor's whole character in Rivals is based around Thorforce, which is his passive, and these three hammers in the middle of the screen sort of represent the Thorforce, and you always need to keep an eye on them. You always need to be watching them because as well as costing Thorforce to use your abilities, using a Thorforce will also give you bonus health, so it can keep you alive quite a lot. So you have a maximum stack of 3, and when you use one, they regenerate naturally every 5 seconds. Now, you might have seen at the bottom of the screen on my health bar, I get 100 bonus health every time I use the hammer throw or the dash, which cost 1 Thorforce, and you get 200 bonus health when you use the Awakening Rune. Now, Thor's auto attacks, they do 45 damage each, and they have a 4 meter range. So I personally like to hold this down all the time playing Thor, and there are a couple benefits to this. So firstly, the 1.5 second downtime between using a Thorforce can be counted by 3 swings of the hammer. So you see here, if I throw the hammer and swing 3 times, then I can throw the hammer again. So this is just a really great way to keep tabs on how often you can use your abilities, basically, which is really helpful. Now the second reason that swinging your hammer all the time is a great move is because in between each ability you have a 5-second window to gain back a Thorforce. So if I use the hammer throw, you'll be able to see that the hammer will be highlighted with a white outline, and I'll be able to auto to get that back. So look here. Bang. Instant regen on the Thorforce. So this is really important to, you know, allow you to use your abilities more often and give you the bonus health more often. Let's talk about the hammer throw. Now this ability is the one you should be using the least out of his kit. It really only has 2 main uses. Firstly, it has a range of 24 meters. It does 70 damage on the way out, and it does 30 damage on the way back. The problem is that it puts your other abilities on a short cooldown, so you can't use them, and the dash is your main movement spell, and the rune is your main damage spell, really. So there's only 2 real niche-like situations I'm going to be using the hammer throw. The first one is if a target with just under 100 health is running away and I want to finish them off, you can just chuck it at them, okay? Simple. And the second one is a bit more often but still niche, which is when you're fighting someone in face to face. So you can actually animation cancel your auto attack with the hammer throw, and then with the auto after, gain the Thorforce straight back. And then, like I said a few seconds earlier, you can time 3 swings and do it again. So Thor's dash is a lot more useful than his hammer throw, really. There are a number of ways you can use it, whether that's flanking someone, getting in behind, whether it's escaping a fight, or whether it's displacing people, just moving a tank around, getting him out of the fight. And the charge can be charged fully, 2-second charge, or it can just be tapped and used once. So the tapped charge will go 10 meters if you just press it. Let's go to the line. It will go 6 meters with a hero, and this will only do 40 damage. So this is just a very quick alternative, very quick way of moving around, of displacing people. You can also, you know, tap it, hit someone a couple of times, and then use it again, and you can like really bully tanks, move them out of position a lot. Now the charge dash will go 20 meters with a hero. Let me show you this first. 20 meters. If you jump, you actually get a little bit more range on the dash, so that's why I went a bit further. With a hero, it will go 13 meters. And this one does 60 damage, okay? So this one does, yeah, a bit more range and a bit more damage. Another tip I really like with the charge is when you're in someone's face, you can look up and you take them into the air, giving the opportunity to do damage to them before they can escape. So that's just a really good way of disorienting people even further. Getting someone over a group wall behind your team, pushing someone onto high ground, whatever you want to do. And then the final tip for the charge, which is more of a mind game but it's also really great, is you can hold it down and fully charge it and stare at people and then just let it fizzle out. And this doesn't cost the Thorforce because the Thorforce is only spent when you move, so you can permanently be doing this, putting people on edge, just really causing another issue, another thing for enemies to think about, so that's a good one. Now, for the Rune mode, Awakening Rune, this is Thor's sort of main damage dealing spell. If you're playing against a Thor, this is what you've got to watch out for. This sort of turns him into a really high DPS turret with an extra 200 HP shield, because you're using the spell that consumes all 3 of your hammers. So it lasts for 5 seconds, and these bolts do 70 damage each. It will go 1, 2, 3, 4, pause, 1, 2, 3, 4, pause, 1, 2. So in total you can get off 10 strikes, which is 700 damage, okay? That is huge amounts of pressure. If you can hit all 4 bolts, you can do 280, so you're going to one-shot a lot of squishier heroes. There's also a very small DPS area of effect spell right on top of you when you use it. So you can see here he's getting zapped for 15, which is just nice, it doesn't add much. And you also always have 1 hammer as soon as the Rune mode ends, because the mode is activated for 5 seconds and the hammers regenerate at 1 Thorforce every 5 seconds. So that's a nice thing to know. You can always dash out or finish someone off with a hammer throw if you need to straight afterwards. Now for Thor's lightning realm thing, his little bubble, this has 2 main uses, okay? So the first and most obvious use is that it regenerates Thorforce. So if I use the Rune mode here just to get rid of my hammers, you'll see when I pop the E and hit both these Star-Lords, I instantly get 2 back. So for each enemy hit inside this zone, you get 1 Thorforce, okay? So that's a pretty nice, that's the main use of the spell, I'd say. And now the second part is if someone crosses the edge of the barrier, like this little line round here, they will take 40 damage and they are slowed by 30%. Okay, so this is just a really nice thing for keeping people within your area of effect. So Thor's ultimate is an interesting one. There are quite a few people in the game who think it's not that useful, but it has an 8 meter radius and a 20 meter height. So you can sort of see this zone on the floor is the 8 meter circle around me. That people will be hit, and they are hit for 40 damage, and if they stay in the zone they'll be hit 5 times. So that is a 200 damage area of effect. I'll show you here. So you saw there those guys hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They went down to 50 health before I dropped. So that's phase 1 of the ult. You are floating in the air with a 20 meter high cylinder with an 8 meter radius that's ticking for 40. Bang, 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 bang. Quite fast ticks as well. And the actual slam of the ultimate, when you hit the ground, does 220 damage. Okay, so I'll show you one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bang. So, you know, all in all, you can do 420 damage with 200 being ticks and then 220 being a big slam at the end. And the last thing I'm going to talk about with the ultimate is combining it with your E, okay? Because your E has a slow on it, the best way you can use this is to drop the E on someone and instantly ult. This way you will always confirm the slam part of the ultimate, because unless they have, you know, some sort of long range dash ability, they can't walk out of the 8 meter radius because they're already in a small zone that will slow them if they leave. So I would always recommend combining these 2 abilities. I would never really use my ult without the previous slow. I think this is maybe a small piece of information a lot of people were missing, and it means they're missing the 220 damage hit from the ult at the end, which can be a huge difference maker. So for Thor's team up abilities, I'll just run through these quickly. The first one, he's the anchor, so he really doesn't get much bonus. He just gets a 100 HP increase from being on a team with Storm or Captain America. Most of the bonus is actually for those two characters. They both get extra damaging abilities in their kit, extra lightning damage. The Captain America one is very good, and he pairs well with Thor anyway if you want to play dive, so I recommend trying that out at least once. But yeah, for Thor he only gets 108 extra health from that. The strong team up is with Hela. So when Hela's on the field, Loki and Thor have the option to be revived. So you'll see when you die there's a small hammer that's dropped, and if Hela gets a kill, you are revived with 80% health, which is insanely strong. And also, if she gets a kill while you're alive, it will just give you 50 health, like a bonus shield or a heal, which is also amazing. Thanks for sticking around till the end. I put a lot of effort into this video and plan on turning it into a full series for each hero in the roster. So leave a like if you learned something, and maybe a comment on which hero you'd like to see make an appearance. See ya!